Disowned and branded ugly by my family, I returned after 9 years at my sister's wedding. Mom snapped, "What's this defect doing here?" My sister sneered, "You're not welcome." Her husband roared, "How dare you?" I smiled and said, "Abandoned by my family since I was 18, I never thought I would meet them again. But fate has its own way of arranging things." At a lavish wedding, I unexpectedly ran into people who once considered me useless. And the moment they saw me, the contempt in their eyes was unmistakable. My mother sneered, "What is that useless girl doing here?" My sister crossed her arms, curled her lips, "You're not on the guest list." But just as her fiancé was about to order me to leave, he suddenly stopped. His eyes widened, his face pale, his voice broken. "Wait. This woman is—" I just smiled, slowly speaking. "Do you really not know anything? My name is Evelyn Moore, and at 32, I just walked into a wedding that should have nothing to do with me. But fate has a cruel sense of humor. The people in this room, the ones who discarded me like trash 14 years ago, think I'm still that helpless, unwanted girl. They expect me to be shocked, humiliated, begging for acceptance. But I'm not. I'm not the Evelyn they abandoned. Not the girl who was told she was worthless, that she'd never amount to anything. They don't know what I've built, what I've become, and as they sneer and whisper, as my mother glares and my sister smirks, they have no idea. No idea that the woman they just insulted is about to turn their perfect little world upside down. The air in the grand ballroom is thick with money. Crystal chandeliers cast golden reflections over silk-draped tables, polished silverware gleams under the dimmed lights, and champagne flutes clink in delicate toasts. Everything here screams wealth, power, status. It's the kind of event where people like me, the discarded, the forgotten, aren't supposed to exist. Yet, here I am. The past 14 years should have erased me from their memories. Maybe in their minds I ceased to exist the day they kicked me out. Their unwanted burden, finally lifted. But standing in the center of this opulent wedding, dressed in a sleek black gown that hugs my frame in all the right places, hair swept into an elegant updo, I know one thing for certain. They weren't expecting this, and that makes this moment delicious. I let my gaze sweep across the stunned faces. My mother, still as cold and unyielding as I remember. Her manicured nails digging into her champagne glass. My father pretending he doesn't see me, though the twitch in his jaw gives him away. And then, there's my sister, Elle, the golden child. She looks me up and down, her expression twisting between confusion and irritation, as if my mere presence is ruining her perfect day. "Good. You're not supposed to be here," she snaps, her voice just loud enough to draw the attention of nearby guests. "Who even invited you?" I don't flinch. "Hey, don't cower." I smile. "That's funny," I say, tilting my head, because I distinctly remember receiving an invitation. Elle's husband, to be Ron, was it, has been silent up until now. But suddenly he steps forward, his brow furrowed as if trying to place me. Then his face drains of color. His mouth opens but no words come out. He looks like he's seen a ghost. "Wait, this woman is..." I take a slow, deliberate step closer, my heels clicking against the marble floor. "Do you really not know anything?" I murmur, watching his throat bob as he swallows hard. There is a beat of silence, then another, and just like that, the wedding that was supposed to be perfect begins to crack at the seams. 14 years ago, I still remember the exact moment they threw me out. It was cold that night, the kind of chill that seeped into your bones, making every breath ache. My father stood in the doorway, arms crossed, his expression unreadable. My mother didn't even look at me. And Elle? Elle had been smirking. "You're a burden," my mother had said. "A waste of time, a waste of money. We've done enough for you." "But no buts, Evelyn," my father had interrupted. "You're 18, an adult. Figure it out." And just like that, they shut the door. On me, on my entire existence. I remember standing outside, fingers numb, my breath visible in the cold night air. I had nowhere to go. No money, no safety net. Just the clothes on my back and the echo of their words in my ears. They didn't just abandon me. They erased me. And they never looked back. Present day, back at the wedding. But I looked back. Not out of longing, not out of weakness, but to make sure that if I ever crossed paths with them again, I'd be the one standing tall. And now I see it. The panic setting in behind their eyes, the way my mother shifts uncomfortably, the way Elle grips her champagne flute just a little too tight. They know. They don't understand how, but they know I am not the same girl they threw away. "Excuse me," a voice cuts through the tense silence. A man in a tailored navy suit approaches, and I immediately relax. Adam, my husband. He walks up beside me, placing a warm hand on the small of my back. The gesture is subtle but powerful, a claim, a reminder that I am not alone. "Is there a problem here?" Adam asks, his voice polite but firm. Elle scoffs. "Who the hell are you?" Adam doesn't blink. Evelyn's husband. Dead silence. Elle's fingers twitch. My mother inhales sharply. And Ron, looks like he might pass out. I bite back a smirk. They wanted me gone. Forgotten. Worthless. Instead, I came back richer, stronger, untouchable. And this is just the beginning. I learned long ago that survival isn't about strength, it's about strategy. That's why when they threw me out 14 ago, I didn't just walk away. I started preparing. Back then, I had no power, no voice, no safety net. I had nothing but a bitter hollow ache in my chest, and the echo of their last words ringing in my ears. Figure it out. So I did. And while they carried on with their perfect lives, assuming I disappeared like an inconvenient stain, I was watching, listening, collecting, because one day, I knew I'd have my moment. And tonight, that moment is now 14 years ago, the day everything changed. The night I left, I had exactly $17.28 in my pocket, not even enough for a motel room. For 3 days, I slept in the back of an old diner, curled up near the dumpsters where the heat from the kitchen vents kept the worst of the cold away. The owner, a sharp-eyed woman named Rita, eventually caught me. Instead of calling the cops, she tossed me a broom and said, "If you're gonna loiter, at least make yourself useful." That was my first break. By the end of the week, she let me crash on an old car in the back storage room. By the end of the month, she started paying me under the table. And within a year, I was saving every cent. Because I had a plan. Even back then, I knew I wouldn't stay in that little town forever. I wasn't going to be some girl washing dishes for minimum wage while my family thrived off the privilege they never even earned. No. I was going to become something they never expected. Something they'd never be able to ignore. So while Elle was flaunting her golden child status, and my parents were basking in the illusion of their perfect family, I was working, studying, learning. By the time I was 20, I'd earned a scholarship to a business program. By 23, I was interning at a startup. And by 27, I had my first company, a medical nutrition brand that would, in just a few years, become a multi-million-dollar industry disruptor they never knew. Because I never told them, because they didn't deserve to know. Back to the present. Inside the wedding hall, I can still feel their eyes on me. My mother's sharp gaze dissecting me with the same cold scrutiny she used when I was a child. Searching for flaws, for weaknesses. Elle's carefully controlled smirk. Like she's convinced this is just some fluke, that I somehow stumbled my way into wealth through sheer luck. And then there's Ron. Elle's fiancé. The man who would turn pale the moment he saw me. I've seen that look before. Recognition. Fear. Guilt. Interesting. Evelyn. Adam murmurs beside me, his tone low, a quiet warning. You sure you want to do this? I glance at him, my husband, the only person in this room who truly knows who I am, what I'm capable of. His dark eyes flick between me and Elle's family, already reading the tension in the air. I smile. Oh, I'm sure. Elle scoffs, rolling her eyes. Seriously? You expect us to believe you're some kind of success story? Please. You couldn't even make it through college. I tilt my head, feigning curiosity. Oh, is that what they told you? A flicker of hesitation. Just for a second. Then she straightens her shoulders. I don't need to listen to your lies. I'm the one who went to medical school. I'm the one who drops out, I interrupt, voice calm, calculated. The entire room stills. Elle's expression freezes just for a fraction of a second before she recovers, face twisting into something defensive. What are you talking about? I step closer, my heels clicking against the polished marble floor. The guests are watching now, sensing the shift in the air. The crack forming in the carefully curated image of the perfect bride-to-be. You never finished school, Elle, I say softly. You never even got close. You flunked out before you could even apply for your residency. Her nostrils flare. That's not, oh, but it is. I reach into my clutch and pull out a single sheet of paper, neatly folded. I unfold it with deliberate care before holding it up just enough for the people closest to us to see. Elle's academic record, a record that shows in black and white that she failed out of her program 3 years ago. I watch the blood drain from her face. Ron turns to her, confusion and something dangerously close to betrayal in his expression. Elle, what is this? It's fake, she hisses, voice rising slightly. She's lying, I know it. And I bet anything that deep down, Ron here knows it too. He doesn't deny it. He's still staring at the paper, his jaw tightening, realization settling over him like a slow-moving storm. My mother steps forward, her voice clipped. You've always been a spiteful child, Evelyn. To ruin your sister's wedding like this. Oh, I'm just getting started, I say, flashing her a sharp smile. After all, if we're talking about ruined lives, why don't we discuss the financial fraud case being built against the Moore family clinic? Silence. Complete. Utter silence. I let that revelation sink in, watching as the weight of my words crashes over them. What? What are you talking about? My father finally says, his voice quieter now. I arch a brow. Oh, you didn't think I knew. I shake my head, a mockery of disappointment. You should have been more careful, Dad. Embezzlements, insurance fraud, falsifying patient records. All those little details you thought would never come back to bite you. I lean in, lowering my voice just enough that only he can hear me now. You didn't think anyone would find out, did you? His face goes white. This is the moment I have been waiting for. For years I held on to these pieces of evidence, waiting for the right time, not out of malice, not out of pettiness, but because they taught me to. Because when you've spent your entire life being underestimated, ignored, discarded, you learn to be patient. You learn to gather your ammunition, to sharpen your blades in silence, so that when the moment comes, you don't just fight back. You burn everything they built to the ground. And tonight, I am the reckoning they never saw coming. The moment hangs in the air, thick with tension. Elle stands frozen, her perfectly rehearsed world starting to crack under the weight of my words. My father stiffens, his fingers clenching at his side. All my mother's lips curl in disdain, more offended by my presence than by the truth unraveling before her. And Ron? He hasn't said a word. His gaze flickers between me and the paper I just presented, his face a shade paler than before. I can see it, the split-second panic. The way his throat bobs as he swallows hard, the way his hand twitches at his side. He knows I'm telling the truth. But then, just like that, the moment shifts. Elle straightens her shoulders, lifting her chin, and suddenly she laughs, not a nervous broken laugh. Not the kind of laugh that signals someone caught in their own web of lies. No. This is something else entirely. It's mocking. Oh my God, she breathes, shaking her head like she can't believe what she's hearing. This is actually hilarious. My stomach tightens not because I'm afraid, no. I'm past that. I've been past that for years. But because I know this move, I recognize it for what it is. She's about to do what she's always done best. Gaslight, manipulate, and lie until she bends reality itself. Elle flicks her gaze around the room, making sure she has an audience. Then she turns back to me, her lips curving into a smirk. Seriously, Evelyn, you're trying to ruin my wedding with this? She gestures vaguely toward the document in Ron's hands, as if it's nothing more than a piece of trash. This pathetic attempt to make yourself relevant? God, you're even more desperate than I thought. I don't react. I won't give her that satisfaction. She steps closer, lowering her voice just enough so that only I can hear. You think you're so clever, don't you? She murmurs, her breath hot with condescension. That you can waltz in here and destroy everything I've built. She leans in further, her smirk widening. I always knew you were jealous of me. There it is, that old familiar accusation. The one they always used to justify every cruel thing they ever did. Jealous? I echo, raising a brow. Of what exactly? Oh, come on. Elle rolls her eyes. Look at my life, look at me. I have everything you don't. A successful fiancé, a loving family, a future you could only dream of. Meanwhile, you what? Show up here, desperate for attention? She chuckles under her breath. God, it's pathetic. The word slithers into my mind, a ghost from my past. I remember being 16, sitting at the dinner table while Elle basked in our parents' praise. I remember hearing that word whispered behind closed doors when they thought I couldn't hear. I remember the way they said it with certainty, as if my failure was already written in stone. Pathetic. But they don't know. They don't know that I stopped listening to their words years ago. I smile, a slow, deliberate thing, and tilt my head. Tell me, Elle, I say, voice calm, steady. If I'm so irrelevant, why do you look so nervous? Her smirk falters. Just for a fraction of a second, but I see it, and so does Ron. His fingers tighten around the paper, his brows furrowing. He's still staring at it like it's a bomb waiting to detonate. Elle? His voice is quiet, controlled. Is this true? Elle's entire demeanor shifts. She turns to him, her expression softening, molding itself into something carefully crafted. A look of hurt, of betrayal, of wounded innocence. Run, babe. She reaches for his arm, voice dripping with sweetness. You're not seriously believing her, are you? It's Evelyn. You know how she is. She's always been like this, twisting things, making up stories just to make herself feel important. Gaslighting again. I watch as Ron exhales, slow, his jaw clenched. He wants to believe her. I can see it in the way his shoulders tense, in the hesitation in his stance. He wants her version of reality to be true. But doubt, real, tangible doubt, has already taken root. And my father? He's had enough. There's enough of this nonsense, he snaps, stepping forward with an air of authority. You've ruined this night enough, Evelyn. Take your lies and get out. Lies? I inhale deeply, then exhale, slow, controlled. Are you sure you want to do this, Dad? I ask, my voice eerily calm. He scoffs. Do what? Deny reality? I tilt my head watching the muscles in his jaw tighten. Because I can assure you, if we go down this road, you're not gonna like where it leads. Elle scoffs. Oh, give me a break. You don't have anything on us? I chuckle, a real genuine laugh. You're right, I say, shrugging. I don't have anything except for, I don't know, 14 years worth of evidence? Silence. Elle's face twists in disbelief. What? I let my eyes drift across the room, my voice light, almost conversational. Did you really think I left empty-handed? I muse. That I just disappeared without a trace. I reach into my clutch, pulling out a sleek black USB drive. You see, Elle, I continue, toying with the device between my fingers. While you were busy playing the perfect daughter and Mom and Dad were busy pretending I never existed, I was collecting things. I lift the USB drive slightly. Bank statements. Elle's breath catches. Emails? My father stiffens. Legal documents tying your little family clinic to multiple counts of insurance fraud. My mother actually gasps. I smile. Shall I go on? The shift in the room is palpable. This is the moment where the prey realizes the predator has been watching all along. Elle's bravado falters. My father's confidence cracks. My mother, for the first time since I walked through those doors, looks afraid. They know. They finally know. They thought they'd won. But now, standing in the wreckage of their arrogance, staring into the face of a woman they thought they had destroyed, they realize the truth. I didn't just come back to remind them of what they did. I came back to end them. The silence in the room is suffocating. Elle stands rigid, her hands clenched so tight her knuckles turn white. My father, usually the picture of dominance, suddenly looks small. And my mother, always so composed, so superior, has lost all pretense of control. I can almost hear the gears turning in their heads, scrambling for a way out, but there isn't one because I built this trap. And now? I'm springing it. Elle forces a laugh, a brittle, desperate sound. This is a joke, she says, shaking her head. You're bluffing, you have nothing. I tilt my head, still twirling the USB drive between my fingers. Oh? You sure you want to bet your entire future on that? Ron, who had been eerily quiet, suddenly snatches the USB from my hand. His movements are frantic, as if just holding it will somehow erase its contents. What the hell is this? He demands, glaring at Elle. Don't listen to her. Elle stammers. She's lying. She's always been jealous of me, Ron. She just wants to ruin our wedding. I cross my arms, watching the scene unfold like a director enjoying the climax of a perfectly executed play. Go ahead, I say coolly, nodding at the drive in his hand. Plug it in, see for yourself. He hesitates because he knows. He already knows Elle has been lying to him, but now he has proof. His face hardens. Without another word, he strides toward the nearby DJ booth, yanking his laptop from behind the sound system. Elle panics. Ron, stop, she shrieks, lunging forward, but it's too late. The screen illuminates as Ron inserts the drive, his eyes darting back and forth, reading, and then he stiffens. The blood drains from his face, his jaw locks. I watch the exact moment he realizes the truth. Elle, in real time, falls apart. Ron, she pleads, her voice trembling. Whatever she's showing you, it's not. You lied to me. The words are cold, final. Elle flinches. No, I didn't. I lied to me. His voice booms, loud enough that the entire ballroom freezes. The wedding guests, previously whispering, pretending not to eavesdrop, now openly stare. Elle, desperate, grabs his arm. Ron, please, He rips away from her touch like she's something filthy. His breathing is ragged, shoulders heaving as he scrolls through years of falsified documents, insurance fraud, and the undeniable proof that Elle never graduated medical school. My father steps forward, panic flickering behind his eyes. Ron, listen, shut the hell up. For the first time, my father, the arrogant, controlling patriarch, freezes. Ron stands, his entire body shaking with fury, his hands ball into fists at his sides as he glares at Elle, then at my parents. You played me, he breathes. You all played me. My mother lifts her chin. Ron, sweetheart, you're overreacting. You and Elle are meant to be together. Meant to be? He laughs, but there's no humor in it. It's the laugh of a man who realizes he's been made a fool of. I was going to marry you, he hisses at Elle. I defended you, I trusted you. And the whole time you were just some spoiled little fraud. Elle bursts into tears, but it's too late. The damage is done. You're not a doctor, Ron spits, pure venom in his voice. You're nothing. And then he rips off his wedding ring and hurls it at her feet. The room erupts. Guests murmur, scandalized. Gasps ripple through the crowd as Ron marches toward the exit, his entire future destroyed in a single moment. Elle sobs, sinking to the floor in her designer gown, shaking. But it's not just the wedding that's crumbling. It's everything. Because Ron wasn't the only one watching. The USB drive was only one piece of the puzzle. I turn to the crowd, my gaze landing on a well-dressed older man standing near the back, the hospital director where Elle claimed she worked. Peter Cern, I call out. He visibly stiffens. The guests turn to him, suddenly connecting the dots. You might be interested to know, I say, voice casual, that one of your so-called medical professionals is actually a high school dropout with no real qualifications. Murmurs spread like wildfire. Dr. Peterson's face reddens as he glares at my father. You told me she had her degree. My father, now visibly sweating, stammers. We can fix this. It's not what? I interrupt, stepping closer. Not fraud? Not a felony? Dr. Peterson swears under his breath. I trusted you more. You said your daughter was. She's not my daughter. My father suddenly shouts, desperate now, she's nothing to me. The entire ballroom falls silent. For a moment, even I'm surprised. But then, I smile. Because he just made the final mistake. I've figured as much, I say smoothly. And I have to say, that's an interesting statement to make, considering you've been using my identity for tax fraud for the past decade. Dead silence. My father blanches, my mother stiffens. I drop the final bombshell. That's right. I had my identity checked recently. Imagine my surprise when I found out that someone's been using my social security number to file fraudulent tax returns and launder money through a certain family-run clinic. The hospital director snaps his fingers at his assistant. Call the legal department now. My father opens his mouth, but I beat him to it. And just so you know, I add lightly, the IRS has already been informed. His face collapses. The room erupts again, this time with full-fledged chaos. Security steps forward. My father tries to speak, but Dr. Peterson cuts him off. Your career is over. Elle wails on the floor, her makeup smearing. My mother is silent, rigid, already realizing that there's no coming back from this. And me, I just stand there, watching. Because this is what they deserve. This is justice. And I have never felt more powerful in my life. The ballroom is in chaos. People murmur, whisper, gasps. Security moves in. Guests inch away from my parents like they're afraid fraud is contagious. Elle is still sobbing on the floor, mascara streaked and broken. While Ron, once her perfect, devoted fiancé, storms out dragging the remnants of his shattered trust behind him. I should walk away. I should be satisfied. But I don't move, not yet. Because for years, I dreamed of this moment, of standing in front of them, not as the broken girl they abandoned, but as the woman they never saw coming. And now, as I take in their crumbling world, I feel it. The final severing of whatever weak frayed thread still connected us. My father, who once looked down at me with nothing but disappointment, now looks at me with something he never expected to feel, fear. My mother, always the cold, calculating one, seems utterly lost, grasping at words she can't form. And Elle, the golden child, the one who always won, is on her knees. The irony is delicious. Elle looks up at me, eyes wide, desperate, begging. Evelyn, please. I let her plea hang in the air, savoring it, because for the first time in my life, I hold all the power. Then I tilt my head considering. Please, I echo, my voice cool. Now, that's interesting because I don't remember you ever saying that when you stole everything from me. She flinches. I didn't remember you saying that when you stood by as they threw me out. Tears slip down her cheeks. I was young. You didn't care, I finish, my voice sharp, and neither do I. Her lip trembles. She knows she's lost. My father finally snaps out of his shock, his face twisted with anger. You think you're better than us now? He hisses. You think just because you made some money, you have the right to humiliate your family? I laugh. A real, genuine laugh because it's absurd. This man, this fraud, still clinging to his ego like it's armor when he's already lost everything. You stopped being my family a long time ago, I say, evenly. And as for being better than you? I step forward, meeting his gaze dead on. I don't have to think it. I smile, I know it. Security finally reaches them. Dr. Peterson is already making calls, ensuring my father's medical license is revoked. The IRS won't take long. And Elle, the guests, her friends, her colleagues are already turning away, distancing themselves, watching as her perfect future burns to ash. I take a breath, let it all settle, and then I turn my back on them. 32, I walk away, stepping over the discarded engagement ring glinting on the floor, past the stunned onlookers, past the remnants of a life I once wanted to belong to. Adam is waiting for me by the doors. He doesn't say anything, doesn't ask if I'm okay. He just knows. His fingers brush against mine, a quiet anchor, a silent promise. I squeeze his hand, and then we leave. Outside the night is cool, crisp. The city hums around us, unaware of the wreckage we just left behind. Adam glances at me, his brow slightly raised. So, he draws. Cake? I blink, startled, then laugh. A deep, uninhibited, freeing laugh. Yes, I say, still grinning. Let's get some cake. Because tonight isn't about them. It's about me. And for the first time in my life I feel light because revenge wasn't the point. Freedom was. And now, I am finally completely free.